One love, let's get together and be alright. One love, let's get together and be alright. Let's take a little time and take a little space. There's so much out there for us. One love, one love, one love. Let's get together and be alright. One love, let's get together and be alright. Let's take a little time and take a little space. There's so much out there for us. One love, one love, one love. One love, let's get together and be alright.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's stream. We are currently sitting at Washington Dulles International. We are going to be United Airlines 4303 taking off to Providence, Rhode Island. And we are going to be scheduled with a flight time of just a little over an hour this morning, with a total distance of 367 nautical miles. We've been actually at the gate here for a little while as we're waiting some weather to pass through the area. I'm going to pull over Volanta here so you guys can see. So here we are on the map at the gate, and then just below us here we've got a thunder cell coming through the area. So today we are scheduled to take off on runway 30, which is right here. But we're going to be taking probably some vectors around this cell here. But we'll see what happens between now and the time that we actually get pushed back and out of here and on our way over to Providence. But anyway, more to come on that. But just want to say welcome to the channel. Today is video number 2. Yesterday I posted the first ever video of my flight simming to the channel. And today is the first day I've got the mic working. And feedback from today's video would be very welcome, as I'm still trying to work out like the audio mix between the mic volume and the background noise. So if something sounds a little too loud, a little too quiet, please let me know, and I'll continue to fine tune those things. But before we get started, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jake. I'm going to go by Minnesota Sports Fan here on YouTube. I basically have been a part of the flight sim community here for a little while, just kind of in chats of other streamers. Back in 2017, I discovered a streamer that everybody here may know or not know, but his name is Captain Canada. Got to give him a shout out here, as he is the guy who got me started into this hobby about 8 years ago. Just recently I got a new build, and so I'm just kind of taking my flight sim experience to the next level and giving this YouTube thing a go and see how I like it, and we'll just continue to make videos and see what you guys think as well. So today, special flight route, we are flying from Washington Dulles over to Providence, and you may be asking yourself, well, why Providence, Rhode Island? today is basically day one of the FSExpo. So the FSExpo, if you don't know, is a expo that highlights a whole bunch of things, all things flight sim. A bunch of vendors from all over the world come down to wherever they're holding it each year, and they basically will have displays and anything that you can imagine to kind of showcase their products. So a lot of streamers on YouTube, a lot of just flight sim enthusiasts like myself are in Providence, Rhode Island this weekend to check out all the new products that'll be released this year, or products that have been released out to the public in years past. I myself have not yet made it to an expo, but I sure hope that someday soon I can get there. So anyway, we're not going to be there physically, but we will be there spiritually today, and we're going to do our part by getting there virtually here in the sim. So come along with me, and we will get ourselves airborne here in just a little bit. Like I said, today we are United Airlines 4303. This is a real-world operation out of Dulles, so we are going to be replicating that here today. Couple flight stats. We are scheduled for a 1 hour and 1 minute in the air, total block time of just under an hour and a half. Our total altitude is going to be 35,000 feet, and our distance is going to be 367 nautical miles. So now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit. We do have APU already running. We just need to go ahead and get everything else ready to go here. So first things first, we want to go down to our FMC. Now I do, for peripherals, have the WinWing FMC. I do also have the WinWing Boeing Autopilot panel. So I'm going to be doing some things on the screen, but you're not actually going to physically see me click the screen. It's because I'm doing it on my physical FMC. So what I'll do is I'll adjust the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So first things first, pause init. We're going to go ahead and type in our reference airport. So we're going to go KIAD. And then we're going to go ahead and align our IRS. We're going to go ahead and grab our left GPS and we'll throw that in. Okay, very good. We'll go to route. We'll throw KIAD as our origin, and our destination today is going to be KPVD. Throw that in there. Our flight number today is United Airlines, so UAL 4303. And our runway that we have been given today is runway 30. We'll go ahead and activate that. Hit execute. Okay, very good. So now for our perf, our zero fuel weight today is 131.4. Throw it in there. Our reserves is going to be 2.0 with a cost index of 26. And then our cruise altitude, as I stated a little before, is going to be 35,000 feet. Our cruise winds are going to be 276 at 15. Outside air temperature at cruise is going to be 13. And we're going to go ahead and execute that. Our fuel plan today, we're taking a total of 14,555 pounds, but we're going to be planning on using 6.1 of that, so 6,100 pounds. And one. Okay, so now we're going to go scroll down, just looking on my iPad here. Our cell temp is going to be plus 43. Throw that in there. Perfect. Take off flaps are going to be 5 degrees. And we're going to be loading in our V speeds here of 133, 135, 143. And then we can go over to our EFB here and get our CG, which is going to be 20.6. Alright, perfect. So we got all of our weights and balances in. Now we can go ahead and start entering in our flight plan. So we're going to go over to departure. And like I said, we're taking runway 30. And we are going to be on the Jacoby for departure. And we're going to be taking the Swan transition. We'll go ahead and execute that. And then we will go over to our route page. And now we can just start entering in our waypoint. So we're going to go from Swan direct to Brass. Again, let me move my camera here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll go direct to Barras, and then we're going to be taking the airway Q419, and then we're going to be getting off on Creel. Actually, it may not like that. Let's go to the next one, Orca. We'll double check that as we review our flight plan. Doesn't like that one either. Okay. Just try one more time. Doesn't like that. Okay. Well, then let's just go to our arrival page. Let's go arrival. And so right now we're being scheduled for runway 5 into Providence. So we're just going to go ahead and select runway 5 and the RNAV approach. We're going to be taking the Jordan to arrival. And then let's just see if it's giving us anything from before. Okay, so no transition. Okay, so we'll take a look at this. We'll see if we're happy with it. And we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, so one thing you always want to do is once you enter in your flight plan, you want to go through your flight plan and just make sure that everything looks good to you. So we're going to be getting a vector here right off the departure. And so I'm actually just going to go ahead and remove that. We are not using any ATC today, so we don't need to worry about that. We can just kind of vector ourselves. So again, let's just go back. We'll kind of start over. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just kind of looking through and making sure I don't have any discrepancies in my flight plan. So right there, we got to connect those guys. We'll keep going through. And then we are going to have a vector there. Okay, so kind of a funky arrival because we're not getting ATC vectors, but you can see here what it is doing is lining us up well with the runway as we come in. So that's perfect. I'm happy with that. I might go back here and just kind of add a runway, even though it's probably not really necessary, but we're just going to do that. Now, one thing we do have to keep in mind is we have that thunder cell just south of us. However, on this departure, it is giving us a northern departure, so we really don't need to worry about that. As you can see again here on our map, we're going to be taking off on runway 30, but we're going to be vectoring up and out away from this thunder cell. So as long as we can get up and out of here within a reasonable time, we shouldn't have to worry about anything with that storm. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start boarding the passengers. Okay, so I'm just working on a program called Pacx right now, just getting everything good to go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with that.
We're on your time now.
And,
Gentlemen, welcome aboard WindFRC. At this time, please for all large winter items are open to safety and small items are
okay.
After you put your carry-on items in the overhead bin and it is full, make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Also be sure that the aisle is clear and sit down so that way other passengers can get by you. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card provided for you. Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions. If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Okay, so I'm just entering my weights here into the...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 4303. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 1 minute. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
Okay, so we're going to go up top here. We'll start getting our overhead panel ready. We can turn our window heats on, our probe heats can come on. Our APU is running, so let's just go ahead and get our Pacx on. We'll get some air back there to the passengers. And looking good there. Pressurization panel to 35,000. We'll go ahead and get all that ready to go. I am going to go ahead and start our flight leg. Okay, so our altimeter today out of Washington Dulles is going to be 3013. We'll get that plugged in here. Flight directors can come on. And we'll go ahead and let's see here. Turn some brightness up here.
Guys, the Leo's on board.
And 143 for our initial takeoff. Auto brakes to RTO. Alright, so we got passengers boarding, we've got our flight plan in, we are looking good here, should be pushing back here in just a little bit. Once we get airborne, we'll go ahead and get our arrival all entered into the FB. It's cloudy. Zoom in here a little bit so we can see. This is for our pushback. Just kind of do this the best we can without being able to see actually any of the lines on the taxiway.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Looks like we might have a bumpy or departure out of Dulles today.
Folks from the cockpit, I'd like to welcome you on board. We're ready up front. Everybody's closed up outside. We're just waiting to get some of our performance numbers and the clearance from air traffic control, and we should be underway. It's our pleasure having you on board with us today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Should be underway here shortly. Thanks for flying with Delta today.
Nope, it went back to Delta. We gotta change that. So this is the Zibomod
United, Southwest 1.
Okay.
United 2.
So the plane that we're flying today is the 737-800, and the Zibomod is a well-renowned airplane. This is actually the plane that I flew for many years and only flew this plane, and how I learned everything that I know today. I by no means know everything or do everything by the book or do it right, but I certainly try my best and continue to learn with every flight that I do, it seems. So flight sim is something where you never walk away being like, yep, I know exactly what I did and on that flight and I did everything correct. It's all about just trying to get through the flight and do things as accurately as you know possible. Alright, so we're just waiting for the last couple of passengers here, and then we'll go ahead and call for our pushback. We can go down to the FB here and go ahead and close our doors as the last passenger is now just stepped on. We'll go ahead and remove chocks, and we'll go ahead and call for pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Flight attendants prepare for departure. Cross-check and all call. Thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
So the way that I am starting to do these videos, I'm going to basically be with you here at the beginning as I set up the plane, push back, take off, and then when we get to about cruise altitude is when the recording will pause, and then on your guys' end you're going to see me return on the arrival until I get enough subscribers to be
all doors
live.
and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Videos is just basically kind of cut out the middle, just so you guys can kind of be here for the flight for the beginning and the end portions, which are obviously the more exciting parts of the flight. So,
Lightweight devices such as mobile phones, tablets, and e-riders while we're parked at the gate. Large devices such as laptops and DVD players may be used until we're ready to depart. At that time, they must be stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. This aircraft is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can stay connected on today's flight. You can access United.com free of charge to check flight status and monitor connecting flight information. Our Economy Plus seats feature more space and are reserved for our Mileage Plus Premier members or for customers who have purchased these seats in advance. If you'd like to purchase Economy Plus seating on this flight, please ask the flight attendant for more details. If you're seated in an exit seat, please review the exit row responsibilities on the safety card. If you're unable or prefer not to perform these functions, please contact a flight attendant. Be happy to find you another seat. Thank you for your attention and welcome on board.
In just a moment, we'd like to direct your attention to the video screens located throughout the aircraft for a brief but very important safety message about the safety features, please.
So like I said a little bit ago, it might be a little bit of a bumpy departure. We do have those storms in the area. We will be flying away from those storms, but for the initial liftoff, we might have it be a little rocky.
Bienvenidos a bordo.
Alright, we have one good engine. Let's go and start up engine number 1.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for flying United today. We appreciate your attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Please switch all smartphones, tablets, and e-readers to airplane mode, or disable cellular technology for the duration of the flight. For taxi, takeoff, and landing, smaller personal electronic devices must be secured, and larger laptop computers must be switched off and stowed.
Okay, let's introduce the field
For
engine number 1.
international destinations, your flight attendants will advise if it's necessary to turn off
Go
and
ahead and
stow your
start
device.
our block time.
Whenever the seatbelt sign is on, your seatbelt should be fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, slide the metal end into the buckle.
Operation
Tighten
complete.
like pull
Set
the
parking brake.
Lift the buckle to release. We suggest you
Disconnecting
keep
tow.
your seatbelt
Stand
fastened
by.
at all times, even when the seatbelt sign is off. If your seat seated in an exit row, you may be required to assist the crew in an emergency. If you cannot perform the functions described on the safety card, please ask a flight attendant to be reseated. This 737 is equipped with 4 exit doors, 2 on each side of the aircraft. When opened, slides will automatically inflate. There are also 2 window exits over the wings, which can be opened by removing the cover and pulling down on the marked handle. During a water landing, do not use the exits in the rear of the aircraft unless advised by a crew member. Slides detach from the aircraft and serve as extra flotation devices. You'll also find 3 rafts in the marked compartments. If you must evacuate the aircraft, leave all carry-on bags behind. Exit path lights
Echo
will
is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe
Please
flight.
look around now and locate the 2 exits nearest your seat. The closest exit may be behind you. If necessary, an oxygen mask will drop from above your seat. Firmly pull the mask to extend the plastic tubing and start the flow of oxygen. Place over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band over your head and tighten the straps. The bag may not inflate while oxygen is flowing. Make sure your mask is secure.
Alright, Pacx is coming back on. We'll go ahead
You'll find a life
and switch
vest
over our
under
bus
or near your
transfer.
seat. When directed,
If
pull the
you
tab
need
to
to come
remove
off,
the pouch.
you can
Tear it
come
open,
off.
remove, and unfold the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the belt around your waist and secure it to the buckle and
It's actually like
fasten.
come on,
Pull
we'll
the
let
loose
it
end to
come
tighten.
on.
Inflate your vest just prior to exiting the aircraft by pulling down sharply on the red tab.
And we
You can
are ready
also
to roll.
inflate by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. Smoking is not allowed on this aircraft. It is against the law to tamper with, disable, or destroy lavatory smoke detectors. For your safety, you must follow the instructions of our crew members and obey posted and lighted signs. We'll be taking off soon. Your tray table, carry-on items, headrest and footrest should be stowed. Make sure your seat back is upright and that your seat belt is securely fastened. Please review the safety card located near your seat. If you have any questions, please ask your crew.
Thank you for flying United. धन्यवाद. Vielen Dank, dass Sie heute mit uns geflogen sind. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thanks again, and enjoy your flight.
Alright, runway turn-off lights come on. Strobes come on as we are approaching an active runway.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Alright, so we're going to take Yankee over here. gonna check Volanta, make sure nobody's coming on this runway. We should not be landing on this runway today, but we are currently taking off. Just double check, make sure. Alright, landing lights have come on. Do one final check here up top. Got our Pacx on. We are good to go there. Good, good, good. Alright, everything's looking good. I'm going to switch this over to Gen 1. Continuous, continuous. And we'll go ahead and advise the cabin that we're lining up with the runway. Alright, so we'll pretend like we go ahead, we got our clearance from ATC, so we'll go ahead and go throttles 40%. And toga. Slight forward down pressure on the yoke. Airspeed's alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are descending. Seatbelt sign is on. If you happen to be up and about, please return your seat. Keep your seatbelt fastened for the remainder of the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey to your final destination. Hope to see you back here with us soon. Thank you.
The seatbelt sign has been switched on. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Alright friends, welcome back. We are currently on our descent into Providence, currently at flight level 240, and just taking a look at the weather here at our airport of arrival of Rhode Island Green International Airport, KPVD. Winds are variable at 3 miles per hour. We're going to be landing still on runway 5 as originally planned. We're expecting a ceiling of clouds at 7,000 feet. Visibility 10 miles. So should be pretty good landing conditions, and we should be down here in about 17 minutes. So looking at the map, you can see here is our airport right up here, and then here we are on the map. So we're just going to be coming in, it's pretty much a straight on approach, but we are going to get some vectoring in, so we will not be going as straight as this line is here, as from Jordan to our actual airport waypoint. There are going to be some vectorings that we're going to have to do. For those of you maybe wondering, I do have a 2-monitor setup, so I've got my maps and charts up here to my left. Alright, we're approaching 18,000 feet. We'll go ahead and select our barometric pressure of 30.30. And we are currently 48 miles out from the runway. So right now at this phase in the flight, I'm just basically monitoring what the plane is doing. So we have VNAV activated. So basically I'm making sure that we are on path with my altitude versus speed at what I want to be at our waypoint. So right now the plane is doing all of that for me. I'm just basically monitoring and making sure that we are coming in at the speed and the height that I want to be at this current waypoint. So if I'm not talking, it's just because I'm making sure I'm paying attention to what is going on with the plane. Okay, we'll go ahead and start getting some of our lights on for arrival. So you can see here on our map, we are now deviating from our magenta line because now, since we crossed the waypoint Jordan, we're actually going to be on our approach pattern and no longer on the cruise pattern that we've been following since we left our departure airport of Washington Dulles. Currently have 9 arrivals into Providence with 5 departures. We are currently the 3rd in line for arrival. Pretty cloudy day out there all over the East Coast. It's been cloudy here where I'm located as well here. So it's actually been raining the last several days. Got those speed brakes out just to kind of help maintain our speed. Make sure it doesn't get away from us. Alright, let's go ahead and advise the cabin that we are coming in for our arrival. They can start prepare for that.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, your large personal devices must be turned off and stowed. You may continue to use your small electronic devices, but they must be unplugged and set to airplane mode and secured. As a reminder, carry-on items should be securely stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. Please be sure your seatbelts are fastened, seat bags and tray tables are upright, and your headrests are lowered. If you need assistance, please ring your call button. We're happy to help. Flight attendants, prepare the cabin for arrival and be seated.
Alright, cross past 10,000 feet, landing lights are on. Runway turn-off lights are on. We'll leave the taxi light off until we are down on the ground. And we are taxiing to the gate. Start dialing back our speed here a little bit. We'll just go 220. We'll extend some speed brakes. Currently sitting at 7,500. And we are currently 21 miles out from the runway. back our speed here a little bit more. 195 on the speed. Start extending some flaps here in just a few minutes. Flaps 1. It'll help trim us downward, but also bleed off some of this speed. Flaps 2. Come back here and you start seeing those flaps extend. Flaps 5 degrees, we'll continue to dial back our speed. Currently 15 miles out from the runway. The airport is going to be out in this direction, right over here. Don't see it yet. Here we'll go ahead and retract our speed brakes. We'll go ahead and get those, go ahead and get them armed. Flaps 10. So all right now what I'm focusing on is just making sure that this magenta arrow right there is right where it's at and it stays there. And that tells me that we're on path with my approach and how high I want to be with my distance remaining as well as my speed. So I'm just constantly monitoring what we're doing here. Just about to turn on the final. And when I say we're just about to turn on the final, we're going to make this final turn. This dotted line here is in line with the runway. The runway is actually right here. As you're going to see at Kenty, we're going to make that right-hand turn. And as we make that turn, we should see the runway off in the distance. It is a little foggy out there, so we may not see it right away, but it will come into view here as we continue to descend and get closer. Final landing speed today is going to be 143. Currently 12 miles out from the runway. Okay, we are on final approach. We'll go ahead and advise the cabin. Let the flight attendants know. The runway in sight. We'll go ahead and dial back our speed to 175. We'll go flaps 15 degrees. stabilizer. Roll flaps 25. Currently 7 miles off the runway. We'll be taking over here the controls in just a moment. Alright friends, enjoy the arrival. I will see you when we're down on the ground here in Providence. It's going to be my airplane. Enjoy the arrival. Flaps 30.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Flaps full. So we're just going to kind of adjust for that.
500.
Continue.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, pushes out. Going to maintain center line. We did land long there. I did not get that down as soon as I was hoping. Came in a little high on approach. I noticed that there was no pappies to the left or the right of the runway, so I was looking for the pappies to kind of guide me in, but I didn't see anything. So I kind of had to do it all on my own, and it kind of made me land a little long. But that's okay. We are down in Providence.
Until the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure that you have all of your personal belongings and be careful in opening overhead compartments. You're now free to use your mobile phones and small lightweight devices in transmit mode.
Okay, landing lights can come off, taxi light can come
if you
on,
are
runway turn
connected,
lights
please check the
can come
United
off.
app on your mobile
Go ahead
device
and
or see
start
the
up the
airport displays
EPU.
for up-to-date flight status and gate information. On
Taxi
behalf
to the
of
gate.
United, our Star Alliance partners, and your entire flight
There's a
crew,
minus
thank you for flying us
139 on the
alongside with us
landing
today.
rate.
We hope you had a pleasant experience, and we look forward to serving
Other
you
than
again
coming in a little
on another
high
United
and
flight.
landing a little long, all in all a great landing. that's the nice thing about, you know, not flying on a network. You can kind of get away with that. If I was on a network like VATSIM, that probably would have been a go-around, just due to the fact that I was landing a little long, but also I knew it was okay just because we're not a very heavy aircraft right now. Okay, we're gonna take Charlie here to the right. And that'll bring us right to the terminal. Alright, so like I said in the beginning of the video, this weekend in Providence, Rhode Island is the FSExpo. If you're not sure what that is or what it's about, and Flight Sim is something that is of interest to you, check it out. It's a really cool event that happens Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every year. Last year was in Vegas. It's been in Orlando in the past. It's been in Houston, Texas. It changes location every year. They'll announce this Sunday where it's going to be located next year. But it's a great event where a lot of flight sim enthusiasts can come together, meet one another, share the hobby and the love for it. But then also these vendors come in from all over the world and they show off their products that they've been selling, things that are on their way to the market. A lot of peripherals that I am using right now from WindWing, Thrustmaster. I learned those through either the expo or streamers online using them. So definitely something to check out if flight sim is something that you're into or wanting to get into. Definitely worth it. Alright, we got a lot of full gates here. We're going to go ahead and take this one directly in front of us. Before we do that though, we're going to make sure the APU is good to go. APU bleed can come on. And we are good to go ahead into the gate. Because I don't have a marshaller, I'm going to cheat a little bit and go outside the airplane and help us get in line with our line. Alright, we'll stop it right there. Parking brake can come on. We'll go over to our EFB. We will call for chocks. We'll go up here. We will... Oh, okay. No jetway working at this airport. That's no problem. We will just go ahead and depart via the stairs. Alright, so engine number 2 can come down. Number 1 to follow. And ladies and gentlemen, we are down in Providence, Rhode Island. We'll turn our taxi light off. Let's see, wheel well light can come off, anti-collision, strobes can come off. Ready.
Second, standby for all call.
And seatbelt sign can come off. No smoking to auto. And we can go to PGen. Window heats can come off. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down. We will go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and extend the stairs so that way our passengers can get off. And ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our flight for today. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. This is only the beginning of hopefully something that will only grow and get better. But I appreciate every one of you tuning in. Please like, please subscribe, please share. As the more we get into the into the page here, we can hopefully start doing some live streams. So you can be part of the beginning of that, which is going to be super fun and exciting. So thank you guys so much, and we should be back soon with another video. And everyone take care, and we'll see you soon.
Let's get together, we can do it all. Forget about the struggles, we'll find a way. We'll find a way. One love, let's get together and be alright. One love, let's get together and be alright. Now we're getting somewhere. We're feeling it in the air. We got nothing to lose, we got everything to gain. We can do it, we can do it. One love, let's get together and be alright. One love, let's get together and be alright. Let's take a little time and take a little space. There's so much out there for us. One love, one love, one love. Let's get together and be alright. One love, let's get together and be alright. Let's take a little time and take a little space.